Hello, everybody. I missed a week last week. I meant to try to get on and do something with a couple of people from the other groups in our group and stuff from the Iowa Hawkeye Sports um, Facebook group, but that didn't happen. But I am pleased to announce that Saturday morning there should be four of us in a four-way discussion talking about the future and and a little bit of what we predict for the Big Ten in football coming up Saturday morning, and so we should that should be good. I mean, that really should be a good conversation. I won't announce yet who's going to be on the show because I just want to make sure that everybody's able to, and everybody who said they wanted to is going to actually be there, and I'll introduce everybody on Saturday morning when we do the show. We'll do it through Zoom first. We're going to do it through Zoom, record it, then upload it to YouTube. So it won't be a live show. I wish I could figure out how to do it, you know, and have it be live, but it won't be. Um, so if I sound like I have a cold, I don't know what I've got. I got some kind of an upper respiratory thing going on. I've been down for the count most of the week, and today I'm probably feeling the best I have all week. Give you guys an update on my eye checkup yesterday and my yearly checkup. It went good. I'm good for another year. Um, but we still have to get into the ocularis because I can't keep this eye open the way it needs to be open, and they have to fix that eye. So, so that will be hopefully done in the next few weeks. Yeah, got a big move coming up. By the end of this month, we'll be moved into our new home. It's out in the country, out in the middle of nowhere, and we're finding out already some of the issues of living out in the country away from the world. Internet service. So we finally settled on an internet service that will work out there. It's not what I'm used to, but we will see just what it gives us. I'm anxious to see. I hope they guarantee that it'll work and it'll take care of our needs, and so we shall find out. Hopefully, I can still continue to do these things. And what is that? What? Oh, okay. So anyway, you can see our cat in the background. He's a camera hog. He loves to get in front of the camera, as you can tell. Okay, so let's just get right to it. First of all, today's biggest news: Matt Gatens has been hired as the new assistant coach of the Hawkeye basketball team, and that's a pretty good honor. I think most people kind of felt like they was leaning that way anyway. I think of all the names that were thrown around, I think that was the one that made the most sense to everybody. You know, I kind of thought maybe a Jeff Horner might be thrown in there, but he was back from the Alford era, and Coach Fran, he likes to stick with people he kind of knows personally and has a working relationship with them somehow or some way. So and of course he coached Matt and his first couple years there at Iowa, so he knows Matt real well. All right. So Matt brings he's been an assistant coach 3 seasons at Drake, as probably you guys know. What's really weird though is he coached 3 seasons at Drake, but during that time, there was a podcast that was Locked On Hawkeyes or Locked On Iowa. I can't remember what it's called. It no longer the people who ran that have quit, and there's no longer anybody running that podcast at the current time that I know of. But anyway, Matt Gatens was their game guest for Iowa. He would come on and he would give his opinions and his takes on the Iowa games that were just played. So if Lockdown Hawkeyes or Lockdown Iowa is going to come back, they're going to have to find a new guy because I'm sure they can't use the assistant coach as a guest on their show. They'll have to find a new person to do that. But yeah, 3 assistants at Drake, and he also was on staff at Auburn for, I think, for a couple of years or a year or 2. Um, he was a 4-year starter at Iowa. You guys remember him well. He was part of the help. He was part of the group that helped turn around and set the tone for the Iowa's turning around in Fran McCaffrey's early years, as you guys well know. Um, and so, he scored 1,635 points, which is good on this for sixth place on the list of place people. And so, over his 4 years, he averaged 12.8 points a game. He played pro overseas for several years and came back to do. He wanted to take a shot at the NBA G League. He got a shot, played with the Iowa Energy for partial part of the season, and early in the season he tore an ACL, which pretty much ended his career. So that's too bad. His playing career, but I think he'll make a great coach. I really do. From the things I've heard him talk about and his take on Iowa basketball after their games every week, um, he he had a handle on it. He really had a good handle on Iowa and Stake. So I think he knows the players well because he's watched them this year. Even though he was coaching at Drake, he obviously watched all the Iowa games in order to go on and talk about them afterwards. So good hire by Iowa. Okay, another basketball news is, you guys know, I didn't get a chance to talk about this last week because I didn't do a video last week, but everybody knows by now Chris Murray's back, but that was that was pretty sure by most people, especially once he pulled out of the combine. Everybody pretty much knew at that point he was coming back. I think everybody but him knew he was coming back. I think he was still hoping, to see if he could still lab a NBA spot, or he was just blowing smoke and telling everybody that, and just so that people wouldn't think he was coming back right away. It's gonna be great to have him back next season. I don't know if he's going to do what Keegan did. I hope he can. If he did what Keegan did, I feel real good about Iowa basketball. If he can do what Keegan did, but I don't know if he will or not. I hate to put that much pressure on him. I didn't think, did anybody, everybody thought Keegan would have a great season this year, but did anybody see him having the kind of season he did? I didn't. I figured him for a 16, 14, 16 point game a guy, with, maybe 5, 6 rebounds a game and everything, having a solid season, but not having the great season that he had. And right now, if I'm gonna speculate, I would say that Chris is going to be around that 14, 16, 17, 18 points a game person. That's where I would expect Chris to fall, and we'll see if that actually changes. And, like, for his brother, let's see. I think everybody thinks he's about a year behind his brother in development, so I think everybody's expecting big things from him. And I do expect big things from him. I just don't want to say, hey, he's going to have a Keegan type year, because you don't know. Okay, you really don't know. Okay, another Iowa basketball news is that was it's kind of old by now, and I know it's duh. I'm talking about old news already that everybody's read about. But like I said, I didn't get a chance to go live, and I wanted to give you my take on these things. We're playing Duke in the Jimmy V Classic next year in the basketball. We've played Duke 6 times before, failed to win all 6 of them. That's what I found out. Coach K, I'm just going to call him Coach K because I can't say his last name. Him being gone, does that change the dynamics of this Duke team? Or do we still expect to see a national title contending team like we do every year from Duke? I say we're going to the players aren't going to change. So I still think we see a title contending team next year out of Duke. And guys, if Iowa can beat Duke, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. And then they got what's really crazy is Texas and Illinois are playing in the other game. If Iowa and Illinois both win their games, Iowa and Illinois would play each other in a non-Big Ten game. Get a little preseason look at what Iowa and Illinois, right now I got to believe that Illinois is I think is one of the favorites to win the Big Ten next year. I know it's a little early to be talking about that, but people are already pegging them, and it sounds like they've got a couple of good transfer portal people in, and it just sounds like their team is really going to really be strong next year. So, um, but Texas is supposed to be pretty decent too, aren't they? I don't know a lot about Texas because they're Big 12, so unless they're Big 12, or I don't really see much of them, but that's okay. But I think they're supposed to be a pretty solid team themselves. So, so it could be a Duke Texas final, or Iowa Texas final, or Iowa Illinois final, or Duke Illinois final. It could be one of those, any combination. I think they've got four solid teams. If I'm looking at it right now, out of the four, I would say that Iowa would be because depending on where Texas is supposed to be this year, I would say Iowa is only the third or fourth best in that tournament. So they might go 0-2, guys. They might go 0-2 because I got to believe that Duke and Illinois are going to be the top teams in that tournament, and they're going to be both title contenders. And like I said, Illinois is, I think, already a preseason pick to make some noise. So that being said, let's move on to. I wanted to talk to football news, but I forgot what it was I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, Athlon. I love getting the Athlon magazines and stuff. This summer, and there'll probably be another month or so before the magazines actually hit the newsstands. But I think online they're already starting to release some things to get us hungry. And they released their first team, Big Ten people, and tight end Sam Laporta is there uh, among the first team All Big Ten. He's the first team All tight end. I mean, All Big Ten tight end. That's pretty cool. I mean, I think a lot of people think Laporta will have a big season. I think he caught the most passes last year, if I'm not mistaken. And he's been that the last couple seasons. He's been the top pass catcher. I'm pretty sure. So it just tells you that Iowa likes to use the tight end a lot. Um, and it's going to be exciting to see because with Iowa having a possibly three tight end attack again, like they did when Hawkinson and you guys know. Oh God, how can I slip? He's no longer a Bronco. He's a Seahawk. Gosh. But anyway, when those two were there, then there was another. They had a little. Sometimes they'd run three tight ends, and Iowa could score points that way. So, but yeah, so that should be exciting to see what Iowa's tight end can do. Tight end can do with doing three sets because they've got that transfer coming in, and I think they brought him in for a specific reason. I think he's more of a blocking tight end from what I hear. And so Iowa likes to use blocking tight ends as an extra blocker, and that should help the run game at all. At Almighty. Um, and I also like the idea. I mean, this is kind of getting into a little bit about what we want to talk about Saturday morning, but I kind of like the idea, as I think the Williams being downhill runners, I think they're going to gain more yardage because I really think downhill runners have more of an advantage because they don't dance around and they don't waste time in the backfield. They get the ball and they push forward. So I think you're going to see, these guys can probably get 5-6 yards of carry next year. And they did that in the bowl game. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough because our passing game sucked. It wasn't enough to help us win the bowl game. Yeah, score wise, it sucked. But yeah, that's another story. We don't want to. Can't believe we got beat by Kentucky. Anyhow, so that kind of exciting. So yeah, that says a lot about our tight end game for next year. It looks pretty good. That means Sam Laporta is the best tight end in the Big Ten right now. And so, guys, it's only media days are going to start in a few weeks. They'll go to I don't know if they're going to Chicago like they always do, and bring some guys with them. And yeah, so we'll see about that. But Also, Jason Hackwell posted a quote this morning from the wide receivers coach of Iowa, who said that hard work was it says oh, I wish I gotta go find that quote here real quick. Let me find it real quick. I want to get it right. You guys ever want to shut your phones off sometimes and just um okay. So this was posted by Jason this morning. Um and I asked him a question and I'm going to tell you what my response was to it. Um well anyway, the gist of it is I don't know where it's at. I can't find it. Um Maybe he removed it. Oh, I know another way to get it. Hang on. So yeah, forgive my cough, guys. Um, so anyway, Kelton Copeland, who's the wide receivers coach, this is a direct quote from him. He says, "Be leery of those who post or tell you about how hard they work. True hard workers just work hard and let the results speak for themselves. Hashtag leadership skills. Hashtag trust the process. Hashtag standards." Okay, so I asked Jason if he thought he was referring to somebody, and Jason thought he was just kind of like talking in general, you know, because a lot of football players like to brag and not work, and that also goes out away from sports too. It goes for my jobs and everything too. You guys all know somebody like that. But I came back and said I was wondering if Tryon, I can't say his name, Tryon Tracy was Tyrone Tracy was on his mind when he said that. And the reason why I say that, you guys remember last year when Tyrone made, when he was getting frustrated, he was making comments about, that he was a Swiss Army knife and Iowa wasn't using him properly, and um oh yeah, like that. And and he was, he talks about, and there was quite articles about how Iowa, all the media and fans were questioning why he was having such a bad season because he dropped a lot of passes, or the quarterback couldn't get him the passes when he needed them. And so it was quite frustrating. As you guys know, he lost his starting wide receiver spot to the newcomer Johnson, Keegan Johnson last year. Have like the last 4 or 5 games of the season. So I'm just wondering, did as much as Tyrone was much loved by the Iowa fans and the thing, because he still showed that he was working hard for his team. He still showed, in games, despite him not getting targets, that he was blocking, he was throwing key blocks and stuff like that. He's still celebrating with his teammates. You know, um, Despite all that, do you guys think that one of the reasons why he kind of lost his mojo is because he was expected to be the big guy? All the fans expected it, and the kind of coaches kind of hinted that he was ready for a big season last year. That didn't happen. Do you think he just quit working for it? That's my question. Do you think he just quit working for it, but was talking a good game? I don't want to say anything negative about him too much because I feel like he blew some of his own chances last year, but also the quarterback situation didn't help him much last year either because when he was wide open, they couldn't get him the ball, or he would just drop the ball when he had it. And so He's a good guy. I like the way he handled the adversity last year. And obviously, we didn't see that him handling the adversity this year by taking off and leaving us for Purdue like he did. So, um, so, so he's gonna make some noise for Purdue. I got a feeling, but we'll see how hard he works there. But I just wondered if Kelton, knew that he didn't work that hard, and the reason why, because some people, if you don't work hard, the results aren't there on the field. If you work hard, the results will be there. Is he not working hard to get open? Is he not working hard to run the right routes? Was he not working hard at anything, knowing the plays or whatever? I don't know. Guys, I'm going to be honest. I don't have the answers to that, but Kelton wouldn't have quoted that if he. I think if he didn't have somebody in mind, whether he had Tyrone Tracy in mind or somebody currently in the wide receiver room, or people just in general from the news, who talk a good game but don't produce. Okay, so I just I just wondered, it's just a curiosity to me if that was partly the case. So you know, that being said, this is going to be a short video today, because I'm really excited about our four-way discussion um, coming up on Saturday morning, and so we'll have that video released Saturday afternoon sometime. And so I'm excited, guys. I'm really am. It should be a good thing, and keep watching for that. We'll get you posted on Facebook. I'm going to start talking about it and pumping it up now, um, and so that you guys can see that. So other than that, I don't have much else news to go. I mean, we are in the slow period, but boy, guys, in a couple of weeks when media days and stuff heat up, we're gonna have a great. I don't know when the media days actually begin. That it's sometime in July, and so that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I don't know when. I think camp doesn't open until around the first part of August, so that'll be fun. So, guys, the best part of summer is still to come. You know. So I don't have anything else to say, guys. Like I said, a lot of the stuff I could think about would be old news, and I just like throwing out some stuff, and I just wanted to give you my opinion on Gayton's coming as assistant coach, what I thought about Iowa playing Duke in the Jimmy V Classic, because I gave you that. We talked about Chris Murray coming back. Some of those things. A lot of that was old news, guys, and I know that. I just wish I had not gotten so involved in this move. I'm so knee deep in this move right now. Um, I don't know. You can't see behind me because it's about the only places in the house right now, the current house, where everything is still in order. Uh, you go back down my hallway and start walking into rooms, we've got boxes packed all the way to the ceiling and things taken down. And yeah, it's a mess back that way. Trying to maneuver down my hallway and through the bedrooms is kind of quite a mess. So we're going to start moving some of that. I hope this Saturday afternoon, moving some of that to the new house. We do have possession of the house. We're real excited. Um, but I had to give notice here, and so we're taking full advantage of it. My wife, I don't want to say that right now. What about what's going on with her? We'll announce that after she does it. Um, yeah, it's just gonna be fun. I think we're gonna be out in the country, and I can't wait. And it's a good thing. I'll have more things to say, and my studio, my studio will be set up. My new studio. It'll be a private studio in the house. We have enough space that I was able to create a private studio, and we should have that up and running. I hope, if everything goes well, I'll have that up and running the first week and last week in June, first week in July. Um, that studio going well, and I'm excited for you guys to show you what I got planned for that studio. But it'll be our studio, my studio for webcasting and autocasting and zooming and everything else you want to. Podcasting, everything we want to do there that I've dreamed of doing, we're going to be able to do from that studio. And yeah, it's exciting. I can't wait. I cannot wait. So, hey, um, All right, I'm just going to get out. It's another short one today, but you guys probably like that one. I do want to say, continue to go to and join our Iowa Hawkeye Sports Facebook group. Guys, we're stuck at 2.9. We're getting closer to 3K, but let's get that. I want to see that flip over to 3K this week. Can we do that? Can you go over there and join the group? And if you're already a member, can you share it with your Hawkeye friends? Even your Husker fans and your Cyclone fans, because they might get a kick out of what we say about them. You know, let's do that. Let's get going on there. I know that we got like 2.9K, pushing toward three. But I can tell you, I probably have about 300 or 400 of those people are from my personal invites. So I appreciate that. I've done it. I know that Terry Christensen has done it. Paul's done it. So we've worked hard to get you guys to join and enjoy the show and just enjoy everything about it. Obviously, you guys come and you like the content. You're reading it. And so I would like to get us in a position to where we can get more people. And I would like to get more people who would subscribe to this YouTube, if they would please. I want to get this up to 1,000, but I'm a long way from 1,000. I think the last time I looked, it was at 68 or 69. It may go up or may go down a little bit from there. But guys, let's keep pushing toward the goal. Let's get a lot of people out there. I want to be able to, when I punch in on YouTube and I punch in Iowa Hawkeyes, I want my page to show up. Right now, it's not showing up. A whole bunch of other people's pages show up, or YouTube groups. Locked On Hawkeye shows up, and even though they haven't had a new show since May 17th, they show up on there. My friend Nolan, Hawkeye Anthony, his his Hawkeye videos show up on there. They show up on the main page. So that's what I want. My goal is, let's get this on the main page. Think we can do that, guys? Let's get enough viewers on here and enough likes and enough comments. Interact with this. Please comment anything you want. They always notify me when I get comments. So I'd like to go back and read the comments, and I definitely will respond to you, and whether you think they're good or bad. If you got any questions you want me to answer, please feel free to put them. Put them in our Iowa Hawkeye Sports page, and just say, hey, I want to get an answer. And so we'll answer them on the air. Well, on the air, not really. You know what I mean. Over YouTube. Okay, guys. All right. I'm checking out. It was fun talking to you guys again today. I'm glad I'm feeling better today, because up until today I was miserable. Uh, so I'm still sick, but I'm feeling good enough to get in front of the camera and talk to you guys today. So have a wonderful Thursday. Enjoy your Thursday and your weekend.